Welcome to Yoga with Shan. This is the first in our series for snow legs, but it's also appropriate for anyone who has never done yoga before, if it's been a while since you came to your mat. The focus in this practice is really on opening our fascia, really loosening the muscles, and then as we move through this series we'll start to build strength, mobility, ensuring that we don't have any injuries this season. So come and join me on your mat. If you don't have a mat, you can use a towel, and come and sit on your blocks. Again, if you don't have any blocks, just use cushions. And this is Virasana, and it's a beautiful pose where we really work on opening up the fronts of our legs. Our quads really need to be loose to ensure that they end up being really strong this season and can hold us as we make our way down the slopes. So just closing your eyes, bringing your attention to your breath, and just noticing where you're at, leaving behind anything from the day. Throughout this practice, anytime your mind flits away, just gently draw it back again. Bring your focus back to your breath, and that will allow you to stay firmly planted in the now, in this moment, because this is really what matters. Don't think about anything that you have to do at the end of today or anything that's happened in the past. This is your time. So taking a deep inhalation as if all the way to your abdomen. Feel your rib cage expand, your chest rise. And exhaling as if from the abdomen, your rib cage lowers, your chest lowers. Just focus on the breath that you return to. Taking another deep inhalation, move your hands to the outside of your rib cage, elbows out to the side, feel the rib cage expand, chest rises, and exhaling as if from the abdomen, and your rib cage lowers, chest lowers. Again, just take your mind's eye to your breath. And taking another deep inhalation as if all the way down to your abdomen, feel that rib cage expand out to the side, your chest rises, and exhaling as if from the abdomen, rib cage lowers, your chest lowers. Just noticing that returning breath. On your next inhalation, taking your arms up over your head as they touch, joining the hands together, interlocking those fingers and pressing up tall through those hands as if you're really pressing the palms all the way up to the sky, trying to draw your elbows in towards your ears, and then releasing them back down to just beside your body. Inhaling them back up again, this time just touching them palms together, and exhaling them back down to the mat. Inhaling, your arms up. When your fingers touch, exhaling them back down again. Inhaling, arms up. This time, taking your right hand on your exhalation over to your left knee, and your gaze is over your left shoulder. And then inhaling, your hands back to center. And as you exhale, taking that left hand over to the right knee, gaze over the right shoulder. Inhale, hands back to center. And exhale, right hand to left knee, gaze over the left shoulder. Inhaling, hands back to center. Left hand over to the left right knee. Gaze over the right shoulder and inhaling, hands back to center and bringing them down to the side. Taking your right hand, placing it on your left ear, not using any weight at all here, just using the weight of your hand to gently elongate those muscles on the left side of your neck. Breathing deep into that left side of your neck, really taking some fresh oxygen to that area. And taking your hand down, drawing up your left hand over to your right ear. Only the weight of your hand on your ear is what draws and extends those muscles. Dropping through that right hand. Bringing your head back up to the center, arm down to the side. Just taking a moment to draw those shoulders up to your ears and really feeling those shoulder blades come together. Take those hands together behind your back, really pressing out through the chest and coming forwards with your forehead to touch the ground in front of you. And inhaling yourself back up again. Exhale, coming forwards, hands interlocked. Really feeling that opening through the shoulder girdle. This ball and socket joint can get so tight when we're sitting on computers, not really mobile through the day. And exhaling back down again for our last one. Inhaling back up again. Just drawing our hands up overhead, taking hold of the left wrist with your right hand and really feeling that extension through the whole side of the left body as we pull with our right hand on the left wrist, keeping your gaze forward here. No movement in the neck. Relaxing your jaw. It's quite easy to tense it up sometimes when you're in an awkward pose. Coming back to center, grasping hold of the right wrist, and then coming over to the left. Coming back to center, bringing your arms down, coming forwards onto your knees and just removing your cushions or your blocks. Coming to your kneeling position, just pressing with the tops of your feet into the mat and your knees so you can really feel this connection with your mat through this lower part of your body. And then coming onto all fours, we're going to take our tabletop position, and this position can be quite strong even though it's quite a neutral position. So you're just really planting through every finger. Take a moment to press through your forefinger, your thumb, your middle finger, your little finger, your ring finger, and then your palms of your hands evenly, really drawing that abdomen in towards your spine, making sure that you're not pressing through the sit bones and dropping through the abdomen yet. We will get to that move soon. Back of the neck is long, as if you could rest a bear on your back or a glass of wine and it wouldn't tip over. So we're going to take a deep inhalation as we drop through the stomach into our cow position, not pressing too far here. So we don't want to put any pressure on the sacroiliac joint here. And then drawing up into our cat, really drawing through that navel region. Taking a deep inhalation, opening through the chest, draw those shoulder blades together. And exhaling, navel to spine, dropping through the tailbone here. Inhaling forwards, gaze forwards, tilting through that pelvis. Exhale, draw that navel to spine, opening through the shoulder blades, crown of the head drops towards the mat. Inhaling for one last cow. Gaze forward and then coming back to our neutral position. Taking your right hand with the palm facing upwards, slide it through underneath your left arm, bending at the elbow, and then coming to rest on the area of your tricep, just where it comes up to meet that ball and socket joint, and then really feeling that opening through the shoulder blade, that right shoulder blade. This can be quite intense if you are spending a lot of time leaning over a laptop or a desktop. So breathing deep here. And coming back up, taking our arms, hands back into our tabletop position again, and just taking one more round of our cow into our cat before we come onto the other side. So taking that palm facing up and really just sending that as if you're threading a needle, and then laying down onto the top of that shoulder joint, using the tips of your right fingers to really press up through that right hand, keeping that elbow at a right angle, palm facing up on the left hand, laying your weight into that tricep shoulder region and just really opening through that shoulder blade. This is a great pose for starting to really open this fascia in this whole upper spinal region between the shoulder blades. And it can take quite a while to break down this connective tissue here that holds all sorts of memories, both physical memories and mental memories. And as it breaks it down, you create these new cells which function just so much more efficiently. You'll find you'll get rid of any pain that you have between these shoulder blades over a period of time. And then inhaling yourself back up into your cat-cow. Taking another round. And exhale, really draw that navel to spine. And this time, taking your weight onto your right hand. And we're going to lift up through the left arm and the right leg, and really extend from the tip of your left finger to the tip of your right toe, pressing through in a zigzag as if you have a lightning bolt of energy running from either side of your body. Just really feel that extension, feel your glute working on that right side. You're drawing up through your calf, left arm is long, and bringing it back down to the mat, and then inhaling back up on the other side, really extending that long through your left toe, all the way up through your ankle, through your calf, your hamstring, your glute, right through your triceps, your forearm, through your fingertips, and then coming back down. Now pressing, rolling over on the toes, taking a minute with your sit bones, just touching your heels, have a roll here, wake up those toes, and pressing up into a downward dog. Now, if you have any wrist discomfort at all, you can stay on this position because there's not as much weight on your wrists here, or you can take it onto your knuckles and see how that feels. But if it is at all painful, just come back down, and you can also come onto your forearms, and then you're taking the weight off your wrists here. So when you're pressing up into a down dog, it's really important that you're not aiming straight away just to press your heels into the mat. That's not the aim of this position. It's a progressive position. So what you really want to do is take your knees bent, your elbows bent, and just move around a little bit here. Just feel all your joints starting to mobilize, your muscles waking up, and then take these knees bent, send your sit bones up to the sky, really drawing long through your spine. Slowly straighten them, and then coming to the arms, really bending at the elbows, rotating those elbows around, dropping your head, nodding your head yes, shaking your head no. Comfortable in this position. So this is your down dog. Let's take some pedaling in our feet to warm up these legs. So bending the left knee, then the right knee, and then taking that knee across the body, starting to open up through our hip flexors, all the way down the side of the body, really warming this area up. And then coming to rest in stillness. So we're going to take our right leg high. So just take it to where it's comfortable. The thing that is really important to focus on here is that your toe is pointing down so that your hip remains even towards your hip headlights, I call them, are pointing down towards the mat. So just holding that foot up there for a moment. So we're really going to start to build on poses through this series. And just for now, it's important in our three-legged dog to get the alignment right. So pressing through your forefinger and your thumb, keeping your arms straight, then just taking that right foot down to the mat. Let's lift up through our left leg into our three-legged dog. Again, taking our toes pointing down towards the mat. Every time you exhale in this position, draw your navel to spine. Shake your head no. Nod your head yes. Take that foot down. Now we're going to slowly walk our toes up towards the front of the mat and come into our mountain pose or our Tadasana, which is a really yummy position. We're standing with our shoulders relaxed, shoulder blades down the spine, toes together, heels slightly apart here. Really draw up through those toes. When we lift our toes, our whole legs automatically engage. So we're lifting the arches, pulling up through our calf muscles, pulling up with our quads, our hamstrings are engaged, our glutes are tight, abdomen's in, shoulder blades really relaxed, spine is long. We've got a string on the top of our head, drawing us up to the sky. Take your hands, relax to the side. And this is just a great place to really come to stillness. You can close your eyes for a moment here. Taking a deep inhalation. And then exhaling. So if we inhale, our arms overhead, grasping hold of the left wrist, just taking that extension again, really pressing through our left foot here, so we maintain our balance, and then coming back to center, taking hold of the right wrist, and coming over to the left side. This is a beautiful opening all through those intercostal muscles that join our rib cage. And every time we really elongate those muscles, our lungs get more room to move. So this is just fabulous to complement any other sport that you're doing as well. So it's increasing your cardiovascular capacity. So drawing long and then bending at the knees. Really swan diving slowly forward, taking your rib cage along the tops of your thighs until you rest your hands on the mat, so you have your 10 toes and 10 fingers in alignment, and just feeling that really delicious sensation of having those ribs connecting to the thigh. It's a really strong position, and it starts to warm up our thighs for when we move into more demanding positions like our chair pose later on in the series, when we start to really build up strength in our legs. So just pausing here and then folding forwards and straightening your legs the tiniest bit, only to where it's comfortable. No one wins any medals for having dead straight legs and then pulling muscles in their backs or in their hamstrings, just keeping those legs bent. You can actually take your fingers underneath your feet if you like, just keeping those knees bent and moving at the elbows from side to side, opening up through the hamstrings, the calves, the shoulder blades, just bringing movement into all these areas, and then coming to rest and stillness. Drop your head forwards, unhook your hands, taking hold of your elbows, just inch your feet apart to hip width, and then really hang here. You can let the upper part of your body act as a lever to really open through the backs of your legs. It's just an amazing thing that the weight of our own body is enough to build strength and flexibility. You can just move from side to side here a tiny bit till you come to rest and stillness. Again, nod your head yes, shake it from side to side no, closing your eyes if you can, or keeping them open. And then staying where you are, bending at the knees again, just looking forwards, keeping your hands, sliding them up your shins and bringing your back into a tabletop position with your gaze at about 45 degrees over the top of your mat. And you can really feel the sit bones here pressing upwards towards the sky, and then dropping back down again, bending at the knees, planting your hands firmly and coming back into a plank position. If this is too strong for you right away, just coming back to your knees and your toes curled under here, or if you'd like to come into the plank, or if you have any wrist problems at all, coming onto your forearms. So really recognizing that this is your practice, it's where you're at. It's not a competition, and it is a practice. We're never perfect. So drawing up through the backs of your thighs, calves coming up, and then coming back up, lifting through your sit bones towards the sky, dropping your head into your down dog, and then inhaling, lifting up and over, back to plank position. Exhaling back into your down dog, drawing that navel to spine. Inhaling forwards into plank,
exhaling back, inhaling forward to plank, exhaling back into down dog, inhaling forwards and then dropping onto your knees, and then your chin comes to the mat and your chest. So you're looking forwards here at the sprinkle of snow grass, really drawing shoulder blades in together, elbows are firm against the body, palms pressing into the mat, toes flexed, and then unflexing the toes and coming into a really tiny cobra. Keeping the back of the neck long, lift those hands off the mat so that you can ensure that you don't press up too far and damage your lower back at all. And in this position, we're really working with our back. This isn't about our arms, although the triceps are working here to lift up. So taking a deep breath in and really feeling your abdomen press against the mat as you breathe all the way down into your abdomen. It's a lovely way to focus your breath when you're breathing with your stomach on your mat. You can really connect to it. And then coming down into your flapping fish with your toes together, heels dropping out to the side, forehead onto your hands laid on top of each other. Just rest here for a moment. And then taking your hands underneath your shoulders, press back with your sit bones towards your heel and coming back into this downward dog. Again, moving for a moment, bending through the elbows, pedaling the feet before you come to rest in stillness. Taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out, and then slowly bending the knees and walking your feet up to the front of your mat, back into our Tadasana, our mountain pose. Inhaling our arms up overhead and exhaling these arms down. Then stepping with our left foot back, and we'll put this foot at 45 degrees here, so your toe is pointing to the side of your mat. Your right foot, your heel is intercepting the arch of your left foot, and then we really want to focus on bringing our hips around to the side. We're not in warrior one, warrior two here. So drawing then the shoulder blades down the spine, arms up. Just take a moment to check your arms are even, and then take your gaze across the middle finger and drop into that right foot. And so you might have to inch your foot slightly forward. You want to ensure that your right knee is over your right ankle. And then keeping those shoulders down. It's very easy in this pose to be like this, but you must consciously draw them up and then draw them down. Taking your gaze over the middle finger. And on each exhalation, dropping down deeper if that's available to you. This is a really powerful pose. Taking your mind's eye to your feet. These are your roots. And then at the same time, really drawing yourself up high. Again, seeing that string on the top of your head, taking you up to the sky. And coming out of the warrior two, just moving with
your feet, spinning them round to the left side. So taking a moment here to just realign yourself. That left heel is in line with your right arch. Keeping those arms up if you can, really working through those muscles, and then dropping deep into this left side, shoulders down the back, and then your gaze is soft, just checking that right arm is up. Gaze is soft over that middle fingertip. Breathing deep, really pressing through the feet, drawing up through your thighs are strong, your glutes are strong, pressing through the outer edge of your right foot. Taking a moment to draw the corners of your mouth towards your ears. And then pressing firmly through your feet, coming back to center, bringing your toes towards the front, bending at the knees, and just coming forwards, pausing with your hands on the mat, having another tabletop moment here. Draw that navel to spine, and then keeping a micro bend in your knees, coming forwards here with your head not too far, really taking your mind's eye to your lower back, respecting your back. You can move through the shoulders, opening through the inside of your adductors, your inner thighs, just gently bringing some movement into these. And then coming to rest in stillness, bending through the knees, rolling up slowly. Your head is the last thing to come all the way up, and then stepping to the front of your mat, bending at the knees, coming to our seated position. Now for this pose, this is Dandasana. I'm just bringing this over my tootsies. If you want to put your socks on now, you can, to keep yourself warm, because we've finished with our standing poses. So take your hands to either side of your sit bones, just move the flesh out from them so you can really feel those sit bones in the earth, pressing down through the palms of your hands, drawing your spine long, bringing this right foot in and across your body. So this is a really beautiful rotation, bringing the right arm up and taking it around to tuck into your sacrum, then lifting on an inhale the left hand high and just tucking it over that right knee as far as you can go. If you can't get it over the knee, just to wherever is comfortable, and really on each inhalation draw that spine long, and as you exhale, taking your gaze over the right shoulder. Inhale your spine long, exhale your gaze over the right shoulder, and then move those eyes even further. So you're really giving your eyeballs a workout. Again, these muscles really start to shrink when you're sitting on a computer all day. And this is just the best thing you can do to nourish them. Moving them around. Then inhaling, taking that left hand up overhead and coming to derotate to the side of your mat, kissing your forehead on the ground. Back to center, right foot out in front, bring this left foot in, taking it across the body, left arm out, and let's rotate that round. Tuck that left hand in tight, inhaling the right arm up overhead. Right hand goes over the left knee, tucking in, palm is open, inhaling your spine long, and exhale, rotating round. Our spine is our first part of our body to lose its mobility as we age. So gentle rotations are really important to keep the blood flow to that area. Just keeping that chin down and then moving your eyes, giving them a lovely workout over that left shoulder. And then inhaling that right arm up as you come back to center. Exhale, de-rotate to the side of your mat. Inhale back, drawing your legs out in front of you, coming down onto your back. So lying flat on your back, press the soles of your feet into the mat, and we'll just take one last position before we come into our Savasana. Now pressing through the soles of your feet, drawing up with your hip bones to the sky. Really pressing through those hip bones, through the soles of your feet, bringing the hands together to interlock. Gaze up high, breathing deep, seeing this fresh air going all the way to your abdomen and your rib cage expanding, drawing up, glutes are tight. And then slowly rolling down vertebrae by vertebrae. Coming to rest in your Shavasana. Now it's really important that you take at least 5 minutes at the end of this practice in your own time to just lie still. Or you can click through to my guided Shavasana. But the Shavasana is the most important part of your practice. It's where everything that you've worked on really consolidates in your body. And give yourself this gift, be kind to yourself. And thank you for joining me on your mat today. Namaste.